All righty.
Anthony Hartwig here with a Columbiana football player profile. I am joined by our latest Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley winner, Kean Hartley. Kean, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me. This is the blessing.
Yeah, you got it. We've been wanting to have you for a while, and you've been just killing it. One of my first questions is about the latest Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley win. I mean, when you see everyone come out and vote for you and get you enough votes to win big dogs, and you do need a lot of votes to win big dogs, by the way, a lot of people vote for that.
Yeah.
What's that mean to you to see like tangible proof that this community really backs you up?
Man, I think Columbiana is one of the best towns in the nation. We just have the best people, and to know that they got my back and I can rely on them for not only just for stuff like this, but say I ever need help, I can always trust my hometown to do something for me.
I think more than not, more players than most really shine that big dog mentality more than you. I mean, you are a big dog. And one of the
Thank
things that
you.
makes your running style so awesome to watch is you can have a game where you only have 30, 35 yards, but you have 4 touchdowns. What's it
Yeah.
like to be the guy that is called on for the short yardage situations? They know that you can really, be that physical type runner. What's that been like for you?
I've always had the mentality of I'd rather run people over than juke them because I think that's just more fun. I like contact. And to know that Coach Reach and the other coaches trust me, it puts a chip on my shoulder to really pound it into the end zone.
You kind of went viral last week. I know there was a penalty called on this play, but
Ah,
you pulled the Troy Polamalu. You just jumped right over the line. Talk us through that, kind of what it was like to see that, and whether it was a penalty or not. You have it on tape, and you'll always be able to
yeah.
show that to everyone as far as you go.
You know, I was watching film all week. I know their snap count, so I was like, before the play, you could see me like walk up and back up a little bit. I was trying to time it, and I saw that hand move, and I just went over, and somehow I luckily got the kid. And if I didn't, Coach Bay would have killed me. But it worked out in the end. But it
Yeah,
was still a penalty. But now I got it for life.
let's talk about this football team. The first 3 weeks we were watching Columbiana, and they were right there. You were a couple of plays away from winning a lot of the games that you lost this season. What were some of the conversations and attitude that this team had to stay the course and to not let that start of the year define what you guys could do this year?
It was just the comeback mentality. It was like week one, Lovo lost by 1 point. Week two, you know, lost by touchdown, and then going into Western Reserve. Western Reserve played a really good game, and I give them all the credit. But we really didn't play up to our like full potential. So going into, you just had to get together.
How cool is it as a part of this team to know that after that start, you have worked your way back for a chance to get into the playoffs this week? I mean, what's that say about this team's, like you said, comeback mentality and the grit that this team has?
I mean, we all know Coach Holmes walks in the locker room and it's like, we have that underdog mentality. Every day, and it just gets us going. And I really do think we play better when we have a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, it's been that way for Columbiana for a long time. What do you think it is about this program that builds that attitude, no matter what kids in the locker room?
I mean, we have a lot of alumni come back, and then we have the big man in front and Coach Spate. He's been there forever,
Yeah,
and he brings a lot of his guys back, and they come in, they talk to us, they tell us what it means to be a Clipper.
and let's talk about Coach Spade. It's a legend, a bona fide legend in Columbiana. Like you said, he's
He
been there
is.
forever. There are probably people that are 40 years old that can tell you how much Coach Spade meant to them playing football.
Yeah,
Um, what's it mean to have a guy that is just so entrenched in Columbiana tradition coaching you?
it's awesome because not a lot of people can say they have a coach that's almost coached their dad. My dad graduated in '86. He came a little bit after, but he like coached against my dad. My dad knew him before, and it's amazing to have just a mentor that has been through like so many kids and like has seen so many different personalities and all that. So like he gets the gist of like who you are and what you're here for.
If you had to describe Coach Spates' coaching philosophy in like a sentence, how would you describe it?
I don't even know. Intense and preaching discipline is the best way I would describe it.
What were some of your first interactions with him? I mean, obviously, you probably knew him even before you got into the high school football program. What were some of the first times you got to really meet and interact with Coach Spate and really get your first impressions of the guy?
Sixth grade, going in and going. I had a rough middle school stretch where I was the short, fat kid, and I played running back in seventh grade. And I was slow as molasses. So first thing he said was, "You used to having your hand in the dirt, Hartley," and that was my first interaction. It's been true love ever since.
Hey, you still can get your hand in the dirt every now and then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the development. Like you said, you met him in sixth grade, and now here you are, a senior in high school. What do you think have been some of the ways that you've grown the most as a player since then?
Definitely growing taller helped me a lot. Until sophomore year, I was under 5'8". I was 5'6" freshman year. Those growth spurts, and then just being in the weight room and having coaches that push me in the weight room, and that's just the biggest part of football is that off season.
You don't get away with being a guy that likes contact without getting in that weight room and putting a lot
Yeah.
of work into it. What's your favorite kind of weight room circuit that you go through?
My favorite definitely has to be the cleans. That's what I beat out. Bryce Evan, Jason Martin are out here deadlifting 600 pounds. So I'm a little weaker than them in that aspect, but I could really beat them up on the power cleans. So makes me feel good about myself.
You gotta get competitive with those guys in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. The one thing about weight room is there are days where I'm sure like you're not feeling it, right? Like it's a lot of
Oh
work.
yeah.
What pushes you through those days to get you, into that moment, into that mental state where you have to push through those days?
Coach Bates motivation before the lifts, and then another one is I don't know if you know this, but the number six has been passed down through generations. So starting out with Jake Ward, and he's been a really big motivator for me. And I definitely have to give him a shout out on that for because he'll tell me when I'm slacking. And then my dad pushes me a lot. He was one when I was younger, had me out back in our yard doing ladder drills. So that's definitely how I get through it. I think about my family and then the people who are counting on me.
With that number six being passed down, what's it mean to you to be able to wear it and to be able to represent that number every night?
I have a lot of pride in it. You know, Jake was first team All State. X was on All State. It was just, it's pretty cool, and I just want to live up to that standard every time I'm on the field. And then Philly was a great player.
Number or not, you also get to represent the Columbiana Clippers. You get to
Yes,
represent
sir.
that school system, those colors. What kind of gives you pride in being able to do that every Friday night as well?
Feeling the community behind me every Friday night. I mean, winning big dogs huge because so many people have to vote for you, like you said. And then, you know, Columbiana's been a big part of my life because I don't know, my dad went here. He graduated in '88. He was a captain, and then he really showed me what it meant to be a Clipper.
Let's talk about those Friday night lights. A lot of players tell us there's no feeling like it, and they can't even quite describe what they go through on a Friday night. What about you? What makes Friday night lights so special for you, and a feeling that you might never get back in life?
I know I'll never get the feeling of nervousness before the game because I put a lot of pressure on myself before the games, and then as we get closer to kickoff, then I'm out on that special teams. It just turns into confidence.
A lot of people say those nerves go away the first play. Is that like that for you, or does it take a little bit of time to get those butterflies out of your stomach?
It's first time you hit somebody, and then the wheels just start turning and turning and turning, and then the game's just so fast that you don't have time to be nervous by the time the first play is over.
You got that. The game has sped up quite a bit. Even since you were a freshman, I think the game of football has changed a little bit
Oh
at this
yeah.
level. What have you seen from the game of football? How has it changed a lot since you were a freshman?
Uh, definitely in the ways teams want to throw that ball now.
Mhm.
Our league was kind of known as like the smash mouth, like running, and now you're seeing those teams like United that were known as like running. They're trying to air it out a little bit, and then and they do a great job at it. All the schools in our league do a great job at throwing the ball, so that's definitely different.
Okay, that EOAC is still tough nosed, and there's still plenty of teams that love to just be physical. I'm gonna put you on the spot there and say, who are some players that you have had the privilege and feel like you are honored to be able to compete against? And just you love the way they play football. You wish they were on your team, and every time you play them, you're in for one of those fights.
Uh, Definitely got to put Courtney on there. Luke, he's a very talented kicker and very talented player. And then who else we played? Hinchcliffe from
Mm.
Lisbon was tough and only a sophomore. X Line was tough from Southern. I just forget who else we played,
It all
but those
washes
three stood
together
out.
after a while, doesn't
Yeah,
it, man?
yeah,
Next, it's all about the next game, right?
yeah.
One of the things I love about technology that we've built is you can watch film anywhere, right? So you have the
Oh yeah.
iPad, you can bring up film anywhere. It's not like the old days where you'd have to sit in a classroom and watch the projector, and that was the only time that you could watch film. Where's your favorite spot, or what's your favorite time of day and spot to go and watch film and study the next team that you're playing?
Second period, Clipper Graphics, Mrs. Misos room. That's the best place to watch film, specifically.
What makes it such a great place?
Uh, my boys Bryce, Jason, and Branson are in there, so we all get on like one computer and like form this circle. Half the time we get yelled at because we're like yelling about the film, but it's just a good time in there.
Let's get to know you a little bit off the field too. Obviously, you put so much of your time and effort into football, but what kind of things interest you outside of the sport?
I like fishing. I fish a lot. Uh, I just like hanging out with my friends, and
Mm.
then my girlfriend Carly. I hang out with her a lot.
What's the biggest fish you've ever gotten?
It was a 5 pounder
Nice.
bass. I know it's not. I'm gonna get flamed on here for it's kind of small for claiming to be a fisherman, but it was a pretty cool experience.
You got a lot of life to live before you can get a bigger
Yeah,
fish. You know what I mean? You got a lot
yeah,
of time. Don't rush it, man. 5 pounds
oh
is a lot more than a lot of people have caught. I'll tell you that much. Um,
yeah,
when you think about team chemistry and bonding with these teams and the locker room of a football team is such a brotherhood, what's it been like spending 4 years building with these kids, not just on the field, but obviously what like we're talking about off the field, being able to build the relationships you have with your teammates?
yeah. I'd say it's been these guys are my best friends, and there's nothing that could change that. If I ever have a problem when I'm older, I know I'm calling my group of seniors because I know they'll always have my back. And from laughs to losing seasons like last year, we've really, and most teams it would like pull them apart, but we stuck together and said, okay, we're going to get through this. We're going to do this. We're going to change this culture.
What is your favorite thing to do with your teammates off the field to kind of build that chemistry?
Uh, we usually either have a fire at my house or we just kind of run around, or we go to the locker room. We play Xbox up on the big projector.
I was
Coach Bay
waiting for
might
the
be
video.
mad to find that out.
I was waiting for the
He,
video games.
yeah, definitely.
Everyone's got to get on the sticks. What are the go-to games for you guys?
Uh, we actually only play one, and that's Gang Beast. It's like this weird like game that you like just try to throw your friends off of stuff.
Who's the
It's the
best
best
at
way
it?
I can describe. Jason, but I don't want to admit it. Branson thinks he's the best,
You
but
got to give him some
J-
props, man.
Jason Martin, and I kind of hate playing video games with him because I'm definitely the worst. I'm awful at video games.
Can't be good in everything, man. Um,
Yeah,
when you think about your future, as something we have to talk about because you're a senior, graduating from Columbiana in the spring, what kind of things await you after high school?
I hope that I could play somewhere, but if opportunity doesn't really show itself, I'm also fine with going to college, getting a 4-year degree, and then going and working a job.
When you're looking at places that you might be able to play, what kind of things would you be looking for? What kind of things would pop your eye and say, this is a place that I could call home and I could play football for the next 4 years?
Definitely a place that's close to home. I don't like going far. I get really homesick.
Mm.
Uh, has the same type of mentality or like culture as Columbiana, discipline. We're gonna do this way, the way it's supposed to be done, and do it like that every single time.
Imagine as long as they let you hit people, you'll be a happy camper,
Yeah,
wherever whatever football team you're playing on. Kean, I want to
yes,
give
sir.
you the time to thank the support system that you have, the people in your life that have your back no matter what. However many people you want to thank, however much time you want to spend doing it, I want to give you the time to shine a light on those people now.
Alrighty. I just want to thank Branson, Bryce, Jason, Bush, and Noah, and Cameron Clancy for always being there for me and having my back. Those are my group of seniors. Then definitely my mom and dad. They've always been there, and my nana. She's been. I'm sure you saw her comment on the YSN post of the big dog of the valley. Shirley Kerr, she was on there. Then all my coaches, specifically Coach Spate, Coach Holmes, Coach Reish, Coach T. Reish, and then Coach Furr and Coach Audier. I'll add you in there. And then just the people that have been influences onto my life, and they'll know who they are.
Kean throwing people some bones. I like it.
Yeah,
We want to thank you for giving us the time tonight talking about your senior year, and want to congratulate you for everything you've already accomplished. Wish you the best of luck
thank you.
this week, especially. I know it's a big week for you guys. Thank you
Yes,
again
sir.
for the time, and we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you.